Good evening. Coming on a little late. Just getting set up here. Tonight is a touchy subject, and it brought out, I guess, the worst in some, or maybe the best they had to offer. Um, yeah, I'll say this. I'll start by saying tonight, as we go forward, this is for me. I'm burning my ship. All right. When I say that, it means that there's no place for comfort for me to turn back to, and I'm changing my mentality because I need to change in reality. Um, it's a shame when we are accustomed to judging a book by its cover without really looking inside the book. As people looked at the topic for the evening, I will say that I'm sure to some it was offensive. It's meant to be that way, but to incite thought and to bring good people to the conversation. It's a shame as black people we constantly duck the wreck when it comes to having serious conversations with one another to hold not us as people accountable, but to get to a solution. Um, yeah, if you're here, tag someone in. This is going to be an interesting one. Welcome.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring them out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective.
It's the biggest boss
From business, entertainment, love, and life,
Had to find my inner power.
to fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show. I am he and he is me. I'm glitching a little bit here. I'm not sure why, but hey, welcome. You'll see me shortly. Tonight's topic, man, I guess, like I said, it offended some people. And, they got at me. I'm a firm believer that, you should be able to express your mind. But as I stated earlier, I'm burning my ship because I am abandoning all things that are comfortable. I have embarked into an industry that it is driven by my white counterparts, and they are able to say and speak their minds without being chastised or chastened or asked to apologize. The topic this evening was merely to incite a conversation that needs to be had by many of us. And it was a question. It wasn't a statement. So, for those that came to see me, I say, how do? How do you do? It was an interesting conversation, man, as some of them poured in and expressed their disdain. I'm going to read you one, and I'm going to give you that position that they took with me. Based on the question, the individual kind of chimed in, and this is what I said: don't put it in the DMs. If you're going to be here, express it. We need to hear it because your commentary, it goes unheard to the masses that need to hear it. The conversation came in and basically was told to me that I can't stand men like you taking your mama issues to the street, huh? You never been a black woman. You barely a black man, 100%. And relationship issues to boot. And I'm sure a narcissist. I'm not a narcissist, not looking to control anyone, but like I said, to have mirror intellectually stimulating conversation so that we can grow. All right. They go on to say, but you're qualified to prepare to tell black women why they don't want to be wives. That's not the question. That's not a statement. The question is, why? It's a stated here. Okay. And they went on to say, I hope your dick gets caught into a paper shredder. That's kind of harsh for having the question. I'm not passing judgment on anyone here. That's not my place. I don't do that. But my response to her was basically, hey, sister, I appreciate your positive input. And this is merely the conversation we need to have through clicks, baits, and switches to bring great people together, such as yourself, have a conversation to, share information to those who don't have it. Okay? And as gracious as the person was, they came back and they apologized for misreading or misinterpreting what was being stated. Okay? Now, what I was basically saying tonight when I said I'm burning my ship, that means that I'm not turning back. Malcolm X wrote, it's a disgrace for Negro leaders not to be able to submerge our minor differences to seek a standard solution to a common problem. Okay? As I stated on my last show, me and my brothers, we're tired. We're tired. And we want understanding. We understand that you're tired too. And, there's so much room for us to grow. Okay? So much room to grow. And for all you sisters that are out here tonight, I'm here to tell you, I don't know whether you understand it, but I'll say this. In 1987, there was a movie, and I'm going to use a term. No one puts baby to sleep or in a corner. So I'm saying this tonight. I will defend you, but you must first check yourself. And what I'm saying is the dealings with us. Even though on this platform I may sometimes go hard on you, it's because I see so much more in you. And you are the diamonds in our rough, sisters. So you came here and you thought this was going to be a bash fest. No, I'm just going to talk about why. Why a lot of people feel, brothers feel, the numbers feel that you as black women are not good wives, and most will never be. There's been documentaries on it. One was on actually a while ago on CNN, and it was Blacks in America. And there was another one on Nightline talking about why can't successful black women find a man. Don't get mad at me already. We're just talking. Family. If I can't come talk to you, who can I talk to? I'm seeking understanding from you guys. Okay? It's death of victory right here. I'm like this. I need to understand. I'm jumping off a bridge right now. I'm not posing anything because, like I said, I know what's in you. So I'm merely asking the question. The dumbest question that exists is the one that you don't ask. So you can't get mad when someone comes and asks you. Yeah, I'm the fly ass uncle, but at the same time, I'm a son too. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle to nieces. I'm a father to daughters. We as men, we want to understand how y'all move. What is it? But I covered this on a show that I did some time ago, and it was called The Unmarried Black Woman is Really a Thing. And I got off into the disparities between us and why. A lot of people miss that. So for me, it's about understanding and sharing, nothing else. Think about it. There is a difference in class and race. I'll speak to us first. Culturally, the black man is the only man on the earth that demurs to his woman. Get your dictionary, figure out what demur is, and get back to me. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. If he loves you, he gonna bow down anyway. Any man understands that. Okay, you may buy a house, but if you got a woman in it, it's her house. She's making the house. Okay. Going forward, there's a difference in our culture based on the family structure, the upbringing, and so on and so forth. This is a question, and I need you to chime in. Don't be afraid. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put the number up. All right. Here. Question. Is it true to say or safe to say that the majority of black women were raised to be independent as opposed to being wives? Is it safe to say that most black women were raised to be independent as opposed to be wives? That's just a question. You can text it, you can comment, whatever you need to do. The phone number's right there if you want to call in. It's 929-322-3971. I don't have the answers. I'm asking you. I see you out there, you chiming in, share this. Look, we can only act or react to the things that are factual and information. And no, let me back that up. What needs to happen is this. If you have a problem, it's on you to be able to not dwell on the problem, but recognize the problem, find a solution, and then back all the way out of the problem so that the problem doesn't happen again. All right? I'm not trying to be begrudging to anybody, but there's facts. In the day we live in, a lot of you are mismanagers of your emotions and living for the hot girl summer. But the question is, what happens after the hot girl summer? A lot of us take advice. Okay, so someone said yes. But in mentioning this, it is important to know why that is true. So please help me. Help me. Help us understand why that's true. Because I was looking at the family structures. A lot of times you look at it, we don't ask those questions when we engage. And it should be. Was your mother and father both in your life? Were you under one roof? Who was really your guidance? Was it your mother? Was it your aunt? Was it your uncle? Was it Mr. Eddie up the street or Miss Sarah down the block? And then, ask those questions. Okay. In other words, what is the historical reference in that being raised independently? Okay. Well, I look at it like this. As stated before, the deindustrialization of the black family began in 1970. So you had mothers who had to make a choice to stay with that black man who couldn't provide for his home, or to go ahead and kick him out, or cheat on him with Mr. Welfare. The majority chose to check. But that's a whole nother conversation. What I'm basically saying is this. If you were, how do I say it? Not to say, where'd you get your advice from? That's in the rearing. That is the element of home, or the beginning of home. Was it your aunt? Was it your uncle? Was it your mother, father? And then what was their structure? Someone said man out of the household, either physically or mentally, emotionally or financially, or any combination, due to slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, and attack on the black family. So yes, I totally agree. I concur. This was done by design. But where do we go? You know, when do we stop buying into the bullshit brand, the pain or the ache or the disdain? Even me just having this conversation or bringing up this topic to people to ask their opinions on it before I even pursued it, it's a painful I guess topic for some who may want to say, well, you know, why are you keeping these coals on me? And I'm actually not. I'm asking the question because me and my brothers, we need help. We need help. We need help in understanding how to deal with you. I mean, I could be like most and say, hey, apathy, it's real. But I can't do that because I care about you. We care about you. You know? It's like the majority of what we see now, they choose followers and likes. And priorities are screwed up as well, you know, and I guess that has a lot to do with the pain that most carry. So what I want to say is this. Okay, prime example. There's a show on, and it comes on Fox. People Like Us, where there's a young lady who comes to a well-to-do, affluent town, and to find out that her father is this tycoon or a millionaire, multimillionaire, whatever. But her mother dies, and she finds out that her mother was arrested and she was dealing with this man, and finds out that he's her father. But this girl is going through the motions of finding out or attempting to find out what happened to her mother. I get it. You want to know if your parents or your folks were mistreated. But the whole show long, it's presented to her being boisterous, loud, constantly doting the fact that I don't need a handout and so on and so forth. But at the same time, you're standing in these people's circles, basically asking for a handout to get into their incubator programs that try to fund your business and so on and so forth. And then you want to bridge the gap with your family, but then at the same time, you don't. But the key point that's missing here is the fact that although your mother may have gotten arrested, she was sleeping around with somebody else's man. So what I'm saying is this. That created, or that childhood rearing with the single mother who carried that hurt or the thereafter of her situation in the presence of that child perpetuated that response in life that she has to seek some sort of retribution and understanding about what happened to her mother. So what I'm trying to say here is that in real life, imitated, is it true or safe to say that most of you sisters have yet to unpack some abuse or some hurts, and you have to constantly carry your guards up when meeting brothers? Okay, boom. All right. Someone said hyperindependence is usually a trauma response to having people let you down in life, usually starting at home. When you don't trust other people have your back and riding for you, you'll take the I'll just do it myself. I don't need you route. But here, I can tell you like this. In no other culture ever professes that they don't need their men. Just like it is a hurting thing. In many cases, yes, pain crosses generations until it's addressed. So my thing is, when do we get beyond the pain enough to deal with one another or to cope? Because we've all been hurt. And I'll tell you the real reason that I have been in some ways hard on you guys, because you are the best that have ever done this shit. You don't get it. And it's like when and I'll say it, when me and my brother see you slipping, yeah, we want to call you out because goddamn it, y'all are so much better than some of the things that you do, like i.e. managing your emotions. I come from an era where I watched, my elders manage their emotions, but at the same time, you knew when you got to where they was going to tear into your hind parts, they're going to tear into your hind parts. And it's not everybody's business about what's about to happen to you. Yeah. But, hey, we live in a different era. I'll say that, it's a hurting thing to be a man and to feel helpless and not wanted by his woman. Now we could talk about disparity, where the numbers may say, okay, for every 91 men, there's 100 women. Okay, so we got those disparities there, but they dwindle because we're dealing with mortality rates, morbidity, imprisonment. So it grows a little bit, and then you have this level of us who feel that there are so many more options, and that puts you guys in a whole different mind space that there are not that many good for the picking, and that's so far left, and not true. But then you have the blue collar hardworking brother who may have a base of $38,000 a year, and you may say that's not enough. I mean, but that depends on what your view is. And I'm looking at numbers as opposed to true feelings and emotions with you sisters. Okay? The question is, what's good enough? On top of that. And this is another thing why this question exists. If you're just joining the show, the topic tonight is why black women are not good as wives and most will never be. The true light was shed on a lot of this when the pandemic hit. You could walk into the grocery stores or walk around, or drive around when the streets were empty, when they first put in the stay home. There were a lot of sisters out here looking lost as fuck because, shit, if something happens to me, do I have anyone that's going to actually be able to come and change my tire, make a fire for me if they have to, protect my home, or protect me in my home if I have to, or if they have to? And yeah, the question is it one of those things where you establish these quote unquote unrealistic ideas of what a man should be to you, and it's attached to the baggage of hurt and pain that's already been carried, or a bad decision that you may have made with someone who wasn't worthy of you? Just questions. I don't know these things, and my brothers, they want to know. They're on here. Someone said if men want to help combat the hyper independent woman, they have to build trust and actually be there emotionally, thereby making themselves indispensable other than monetary value. So how did you get beyond that, or get to that point with you, if there's that constant talk about, if you ain't got nothing, then we can't talk. when in all actuality, you were put here to catapult your king. You choose who you date, but we choose who we marry. And on top of that, the perpetuation of those quote unquote unrealistic expectations comes the one-way aggression. Okay? And then it happens a lot. I mean, we could sit back on the line and go through different videos and stuff like that. And you see it on the street where you have one-way aggressions, where a sister can go off on a brother and dare him to say anything. You know, talking to him like a man with all the bravado and the rah-rah and the snapping of the head and everything else. And 9 times out of 10, the man is at a loss because he knows if he does something or snaps on you or something, you're going to call the people, which goes back to the mindset from the beginning. I mean, if you watched the show that the last couple of shows ago where, you know, how we make a slave. Is it safe to say that you've been mothers too long, or mothers of mothers too long, or daughters of mothers too long that have been broken? You know, and it's just a continuum of things. You know, I look at it like this. You can't put your mindset in the way that you can do or say anything to a man and expect him to just treat you like a woman because it's beneficial to you at that point in time because of your stature or your build. But I don't believe that a man should be aggressive with you. He should be in the mindset to walk away. Okay. You know, here's another question. Is submission a realistic expectation for Black women these days to their men? And if so, what's the criteria to receive that? And submission is not just a thing where we bowing down. No, submission is submission to the idea of having a covering, someone who's willing to be first and to do things with you to protect you and keep you safe, not to take things from you. Generational trauma is real. So where do we do our healing? You know, communication is key, and most of us, we listen to respond as opposed to listening to understand. And it's a scary thing that, you know, we do that, you know, as opposed to really getting an understanding of who we're talking to. Now I get it. Hang on. I get it. You know, we're not perfect as men. You know, we often, as Black males, you know, have suppressed your voices as Black women, and viewed some of the things that you said as divisiveness. And, you know, just bringing up the disparities as a Black man through my experiences, it's not fair. But, you know, when you look at the facts of things, you know, I'm going to get into it Wednesday night with us. But just the facts that, I'll give you an example. God damn it, if you're in an abusive relationship, pick up the phone. You should be able to call 12 without having a conscience. Okay? Because the statistics are that 2.5 Black women are 2.5% more likely to be murdered by their men than white women. That's a 56% of these homicides were committed by current or former intimate partners. Okay. And it's like we have these bullshit codes amongst us that you can't do certain things and you shouldn't feel. You should feel some kind of way if you do. But Let me just say this. From this day forth, and I know I've used different terms and words and so on and so forth. This is why I stated earlier, I tonight am burning my ship. I will never be comfortable or complacent on this platform. I will not call you out of your name. I will not address you negatively, ever again. And I will never allow anyone else to do it on this platform. I'm not perfect, but I will not do it. Now, giving love to you guys, it doesn't cost a thing. And it doesn't take political power to do so. We need a shift in our culture, people. We need to shift the music we listen to, the heroes that we choose, the videos and the people that we follow and support, and allow into our households, into our minds, into the things that we receive. And I'll say this because I attest to my spirit on a lot of the shows that I've done. Yeah, I sip, and I like to smoke my cigars, and I eat good. But God damn it, I know that there's been times where I have pumped my mind with Shade Room, fucking Baller Alert, World Star, all of that goofy shit before I've gotten on this platform, and it's taken me somewhere that I have no business going. As a man my age, I am to be dignified and a respectable representative of all that come before me and after me and that are riding with me. And I'll do so this night. I made that commitment tonight, and as going forward, I will maintain this lane. All right? And we talk about broken families. We all come from them. All of us have come from some broken family or some dysfunction. Giving a good example. Good Times. We all used to watch it. Raise your hands. Let me know you used to watch Good Times. Where we all watch Good Times, right? So here's the thing. Why is there no positive images of strong black men anywhere? I was upset when they killed James. And I didn't understand it until now, as a much older man. We talking about the early 70s. They swapped the strong father figure out for the goofy son to be the lead of the show. Okay? But here's how deep the type goes, right? Here's a father who's strong, who's involved with his family, loved his family, did whatever he knew to do to take care of his family and make provision. But as usual, he worked hard and struggled. He got nothing, made nothing, and got killed. And then they made the mother the head of the family. And this is when the buffoonery continued to go forward. When you ask the question, a lot of times you judge because they're looking at the book or they're looking at the cover. But where in the world does a question equate judgment? This is what this is all about tonight. So we talk about how and why black women are not good as wives, and most will never be. Were you abused? We go into the abuse aspect of things. A lot of times we don't unpack that luggage, and we go on to our relationships expecting for the individual to understand things that they know nothing of. You know, don't get it construed or misconstrued what I'm asking tonight. We know what we want to know about ourselves, but what we're willing to share, a lot of us are afraid to. Okay? But our responsibility to one another, we need to do better. We got to do better, people. You know, you ask for understanding, but we don't know what we're understanding or why we're making these concessions to have understanding. First and foremost, when we're all born as blacks, we have racial factors with self-identification. Okay? The first time we've ever been discriminated on or called of anything other than a child of God, a lot of times we didn't even know it happened. Secondly, we deal with household influences. Who knows? Your mammy may have been an alcoholic, hooked on crack, depending on the era. She might have been a prostitute. She might have been just a hard-working woman who did what she needed to do to make sure her ends met to take care of you and keep a roof over your head. And at the same time, in the midst of her moving about, she can't always keep eyes on everything, on everyone. And then something happened to you. Something happened to you 20 years ago that you have yet to tell anyone. Mama could be dead and gone, but you never had the opportunity to share that with her because you didn't want to hurt her, or you didn't know how she would react. That, hey, your boyfriend or your uncle or your cousin crept up into your room and did something to you. But you carry that burden to this day. And I'm speaking to either a little boy or a little girl that I consider a man or a woman now. So you have those issues of abuses and vulnerabilities, the mistrusts. So then we further exacerbate things with our daily lives. How much education you have. How can you apply it to make your ends meet now? Where's your employment? On top of, because you still carry that baggage, you feel some kind of way less about yourself. So you look to the hot girls in the summer and the influencers who are perpetuating this smoke and mirrors to you that you have to be some type of way. You know, priority is a motherfucker. And it goes back to relevancy of responsibility. There's a lot of sisters out here that will sit back and take $3,000 or $5,000 and go get one of the starter bags from either Louis Vuitton or Chanel, and their mouth's jacked up. Just so they can have a bag that's not going to help them with their issues, help them unpack those issues, that's not going to put them in a better position where they can truly be fruitful and prosper spiritually and mentally in their lives. All these enhancements that you do to yourself. And I'll tell you something, man. For those that's doing it, I can honestly tell you tonight, and I'm not hating, men don't want that shit. Real men don't want that. They'll play with it, but they don't want to keep it. That's too much attention. You're seeking the wrong attention. God made you perfectly. There's nothing you need to do to yourself. If you got to do something to yourself that's that extreme, God damn, you need help. And you should take that $5,000 and go see a therapist. I think we all need to seek some sort of therapy. You know. Now, as far as my delivery and my candor, I can't say that I won't turn up, but I will stand true to what I said tonight because I burned that ship. So I will not do that. I see you, sisters. I see you. You are the diamonds in the rough. And if I'm on this platform, you better believe I'm going to be paying the black tax. I got to go doubly hard and I have to work harder to do more to provide this platform for us to come and have these conversations. As they used to tell us in mathematics or in school, yeah, you can have the answer, but you got to be willing to show the work. You got to show me your work. That's the only way you're going to get graded. So I'm here to show you the work. All right. So, as I stated tonight, or as I asked tonight, the topic is why black women are not good as wives, and most will never be. Here's my opinion. Yeah, you were raised to be independent, but the majority of us have watched our mothers play both roles. And as I placed before on the show, um, how we build a slave, we are still in that continuum, and we have yet to unpack that baggage where you are first and we are last. We are silenced even in our own homes. Yeah. Someone sent me a video, and I'm not giving the individual any shine, but I get tired of seeing women come after us, basically saying that we're loud, we're wrong, we want to bash you, and you control the narrative. Yeah, you control the dating narrative. It's a selective process. It's just what it is. You control who you date, and you control who we, get to date and lay with and whatever. But the same thing. We're talking about marriage, the long term, because none of us are getting old. Now, some of us may not want that, and that's all right too. But I'm just stating the facts. As a matter of fact, retrospectively speaking, about the need that's being constantly or has been constantly denounced over the last couple years of us as black men. There's a show called Bear Grylls, okay? And there's an episode called The Island, where they put men and women on the island and they separated them. By the time they got through the show, the men had damn near built a community, and the women were lost. And I'm just basically saying that there are lanes. There are things that men do, and there's things that women do. We both need each other. We have to get better with our social agendas and presentations to one another as black men and women. We know you hurting. We know we know. We know you've carried the goddamn torch and been everything, even the breadwinner. I was talking to a friend of mine who had been through some things, and I'm not going to get off into too much, but they've been through a lot. And, a lot of times because of the things you don't unpack, you'll continue to make bad decisions or bad choices about who you decide you want to be with. And got to get better. Be verbal about your standards and the things that you expect, and everything else will align itself with you. You'll do better. But make it reasonable, make it obtainable. Don't just sit there and say, okay, well, you only make $50,000 a year and so on and so forth, and we can't rock. Well, goddamn, if you're accepting him as your other half, there's a combined income. What are you making? What are you bringing to the table? Or is it you're looking for a one-sided situation where you just want him to take care of you? And I get it. You're tired. You've been doing everything. God damn it. You want a reprieve. That's cool. But where do we go? Where do we go for our healing? Where do we go? Where do we go? And I'm just talking to you because we family. We family. If we can't talk to one another, who can we talk to? Think about it now. Think about all you got. If you got sons and you got daughters, man, I'm sure you want the best for them, man. Because the thing is, at some point in time, they're gonna bring your grandchildren in the world. You may not even be here to see them grow up, but damn, you want the best for them too, right? You want them to be able to talk to you how talk to them about you like we used to talk about our big mamas and big daddies. Yeah, man, big mama ain't play. You yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. And when they call you, you came. You ain't holler no what or huh. These things is the natural order of things. And I know a lot of us didn't have that, but those that did, you understand what I'm talking about. You have to be willing to apply it. But at the same time, okay, here's what's going on, right? Look, you know what? Let me do this because I need y'all to see what's up. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Give me a second. One second. Bear with me. I hear it in my sleep sometimes. Bear with me. Let me stay on topic. Look, if you are, matter of fact, here we go. I caught some flack for this shit that I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Here's another perspective. So I'm implying that other women of other races are not accepting men to be the head provider. Why are you pointing the finger at black women only? I'm not. But at the same time, I don't deal with any other women like that. So the expectation of it is not an issue. We're talking about us. And that's not what I said. What I said was, we are the only race of men that demur. Demur means to bow down, to submit. A lot of times it's because we are not in a place to call the shots fiduciarily and what have you. But there's a flip side to what I'm talking about because, if you're on the show, so yeah, I'm here to shed lights on that. So Wednesday night, this is what we're doing. So share it. We'll be right back here when the black man gets his ish together. When will he? That's a conversation that I'm going to have. And I have some of my kings here to talk about the shit we go through and the struggles we have. So, yeah. So to that individual who sent that, no, that's not what I was saying. Their standards are different. I can say that because they were bred to be. So their choices are different. And I'm not going to go to culture naming. I just know that anyone other than ours, we're the only ones that do things the way we do it. And that's in every aspect of it. As I said on the show before, no one shines like us. We wake up shining. That's on any platform. When we talk about money, if we get somebody who understands stocks, trust me, they're stellar. IT, they're stellar. In the courtroom, there's Stella. On the basketball court, we dominate. Soccer, we doing it. Track, we own it. Yeah. Golf, tennis, you don't say nothing else. And it's just waking up. Naturally. Yeah. If you're just joining the show, man, the topic tonight is why black women are not good as wives and most will never be. Well, I'm gonna give you this perspective as a black man or as a potential husband. No man's gonna marry someone who's gonna punk him. That means he's playing, you being a man, he's marrying a man. I mean, not to say there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, my thing is if he's choosing a woman to be a woman in her place and so on and so forth. Yeah. So the independence aspect of it is there's a duality. You got to put the masculine thing down. You can't be masculine and decide that you want to be with a man. That ain't gonna work. That chemistry is way off. Yeah. What's your expectations of it? Huh? Yeah. Now I can sit here and bash. I ain't gonna do that because that's not my thing. I burnt that ship. That ship gone. It sailed. But I still need you guys to interact, man, and share your thoughts. Share your opinions. If I'm off, man, by anything I'm asking, please. And yeah, I'm taking calls. The number is 929-322-3971. Call in. You got something to say? You got something on your mind? Call in. You're on the air.
Yeah, you posed two questions, and I just wanted to kind of respond to the two questions that I actually heard you ask.
Okay.
So the first question, I could be misquoting you, but I believe the first question was, where did it begin, or you asked, where does it stop? Where does it end?
Both.
And I think you were speaking in reference to, like, I guess, the disdain that it seems that we have in between black men and black women. That's how I took the question. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So my response to that is that it takes 3 generations to turn the tide for things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to what you were talking about in the 70s with the deindustrialization that occurred then, and then the breakdown of the family because of welfare and the husband not being able to find or maintain work. So that already messed up it continuing for one generation. Then in the 80s and 90s, you had the crack epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of fudged up that from happening during that generation. So we're still 3 generations away from really coming together and maintaining what should be the Black family, the Black unit, and passing that down through at least 2 more generations.
Correct.
And when I say that, not everyone has to stay married, but enough of us would have to stay married so those generations coming behind us can see that we have generations of marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and then healthy marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already way behind the curve. We're still just 3 generations out. You know, we don't have 3 generations where we are able to pass down any wealth. That's why we're so far behind the wealth. The wealth gap is we're at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, a lot of work needs to be done, but we definitely, one thing that you did say is we definitely need to get therapy, Black men and Black women, and we have to disarm ourselves so we're not holding up those walls, feeling like we need to protect ourselves from you all, and then vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to take a lot of time to get to the point where we're able to show the people or the kids coming behind us that this is the standard. Like, the standard should be marriage. If you choose not to get married, then that's fine, but the standard shouldn't be, you know, it's hot girl summer, or I'm okay to raise these kids by myself. Like, that shouldn't be the standard, but that seems to be what the standard is.
Right.
Like, if you're alone and single, then it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all of this by yourself, and you still aren't passing down those morals, or, you know, what a family unit, what the picture of the family unit should be. You're not passing that down. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. The second thing, you were talking about submission. You asked, is it even, I guess, in the cards for a man to expect a woman to submit? And what I would say to that is, you know, submission should never have to be a conversation in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It should be that the man pours into the woman in a way that she naturally just wants to submit, because most of the things that she needs as a woman, she's getting from him. And then he should never have to have the conversation with her about you're not submitting enough, because she should innately want to do those things because he's fulfilling his role as a man. It should make her want to fulfill her role as a woman. Now, I think if you're in a relationship and you have to constantly have that conversation about submitting or, you know, playing the role as a man, is because she doesn't feel protected by the man enough or safe enough where he's someone that she feels she can submit to in a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he doesn't feel that she is fulfilling her womanly duty. So it's probably already not going to work, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if a man creates an environment, I was looking at a video, and I think it was a pastor, and he was talking about, you know, if you give a woman a house, she makes it a home.
Right.
You know, well, he started by saying, you know, whatever you give to a woman, she'll multiply. If you give her sperm, she'll bring you a baby.
Mm-hmm.
If you give her a house, she'll make it a home. If you give her groceries, she'll make you a meal. But if you give her grief, she's going to multiply that.
You better know
and
it.
I think we tend to leave that one on the back burner. You know, we don't pay as much attention to that part of it. We just expect a woman or a man to display his role. But, you know, a man has to create an environment where she innately submits to you. You know, if I purchase a car and this car is everything that I want, I'm never going to want to get rid of it.
Right.
I'm never going to go outside looking for a different car because this car has everything I need. And then vice versa for a man. You know, if it's the right deal, you are able to see the value of what it is that you're investing in. You should never need to go outside of that deal because this is the best possible deal that you can find. And I don't think we look at it like that. You know, I should never have to say, like, well, you're not being the man that I need you to be. I should walk away from that situation because I do not innately feel safe enough to even want to submit. I don't feel like he has it. And so I think just for the 2 questions that you asked, that's my perspective on those 2 things. We need to really dive into doing something positive for 3 generations that we can pass down to the kids coming behind us so they can see that this can really sustain us. Like, you do need a husband in the house, especially if you're talking about having kids. Like, it's definitely important. We can't do this by ourselves. Kids need a mother and a father, but we also have to unpack a lot of the trauma that we have been through individually and then collectively as Black men and Black women in relationships. So that's the point I wanted to make. A lot of the trauma.
So let me ask you this:
individually and then
as a Black woman, when we talk about the aspect of not being good enough for a woman, for a marriage, how does that offend you? How does that affect you? Does it offend you to hear that talk or that conversation? And I'm sure at some point to say that you're successful in your life and doing what you want to do. The second part of that is, how would you measure a suitor to be your husband?
Okay, so the first part is that, if I understand correctly, you're asking, am I offended by the question you posed?
Correct. Because there were a few that were, and they've expressed their disdain. I've only shared one, and it got to the point where it's bodily harm on site. I'm gonna do something to you. You got dog your soul, man.
The question itself does not offend me. I think if you are presenting it in a way where you are trying to first understand, because I don't think we come to the table really trying to understand one another. So if you're coming to the table trying to understand it from a male's perspective and a woman's perspective, then no, it's not offensive. But, delivery is everything. And I think it is important to, if I want to reach the people who may be interested in this topic, is, how am I going to deliver it? If you deliver it from a humble space, then it should never be offensive. If I am secure enough in who I am, if I have worked through some of the traumas that I have been through, even if I was offended by it, I would have to first say, okay, I would have to question, like, why does this offend you?
Right.
Do you identify with the one who can't get married? Like, is that the position that you're taking? Or is this about some unhealed stuff that you haven't really put to bed? I guess it just depends on what perspective you're coming from, if it's offensive or not. So by the question alone, I wouldn't be offended by it. It just, depends on who's delivering the information and then the direction they take while they're delivering that information. Okay. And then the second question I think you asked was about, what do I look for in a suitor? So for me, for someone who has dealt with a lot of childhood traumas and have worked to really heal those childhood traumas in a way that, I can manage my triggers, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's okay to have emotions. I don't think that it's okay to display your emotion in a hurtful way because of what you may have gone through in your past, if that makes sense.
Right. So,
go ahead.
So when we talk about the hurts, right, of our past,
okay,
what suggestion would you have for someone that needs to pack light before they hurt themselves? Walking around being bag ladies.
You can, my life prior to really diving into my childhood trauma was not a bad life. There were, it's those minute details that really, how am I interacting with my children? How do I truly interact in relationships? It could be a great relationship, but there still may be some things that I'm missing that need some fine tuning. So what I would share with anyone who has dealt with anything from their past, and I have childhood trauma that I can remember stemming back to 3, and I'm almost 40 years past that. So you have to be okay with not being okay.
Right.
It's easy to say that everything is okay, and sometimes we just really are not okay. It's okay to go get professional help. You're someone in a position where you don't see yourself can never help you out of the situation that's just like theirs. And so you have to seek help from someone who has, first of all, has the tools to help you, but, they're not in the situation that you're trying to dig yourself from up under. And trauma is an emotional roller coaster. There's going to be days that feel like rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns, and then there's going to be days that feel like you're purging, like you're literally purging parts of yourself. But you have to go through all of that, because what I learned in my own transformation or healing path is that a lot of the things that I needed to fine tune as an adult, I was able to connect to a lot of those childhood traumas that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the ways that I act, a lot of the ways that I responded, some of the responsibility that I couldn't take on, I was able to connect that to some of the situations that happened, back in my past. But, it takes time. Be patient with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're on nobody's timetable. Unpacking things that you have been through, that you have pushed under the rug, is painful.
Mm-hmm.
But through that pain is definitely something way more beautiful than you could ever imagine. And it's definitely worth it. And you will see it affect all of your relationships in a very positive way. Just being able to, I wasn't naturally an angry person, but there were definitely triggers that would send me to a place that I didn't like about myself. And being able to really bury that part of me, it's nothing but a joy. So, get the help that you need, be patient with yourself. And, if you have to remove yourself from your family, your kids for a while to deal with you, if you're not the best you that you can be, you can never be the best you could be for somebody else, if that makes sense.
Makes plenty of sense. I thank you.
That's what I would say. You're welcome.
I thank you for your time. I thank you for calling in. I truly thank you. Thank you for your input.
Have a good night.
You too. And share the page, share the topic, man. And we're here. Look, man, I like I said, when I did this, is because I truly want healing. I want us as Black people, men and women, to treat each other better, to respect and appreciate one another. I'll say this. We have to broaden our thoughts as opposed to thinking about people. And a lot of the things we do because of people around us, or people that we allow, or people that we're holding on to. Everybody in your life is there, but for a season. And whatever that season is, you have to recognize the purpose. And if the individuals around you are not serving a purpose, you need to let them go, because they're holding you back in one way or another. Whether it's your mental growth, your spiritual growth, or your money, or your societal growth, that you want to achieve a certain height in life, you got to be willing to go to war for yourself. And that means, first and foremost, forgiving yourself and forgiving those that have done things to you, and letting that shit go. And it's easier said than done. I know when you're bearing emotions, it's not like going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and getting you some milk. That's not what I'm saying, but you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to unpack and realize your value, the value in you, and do what you have to do for you to better you and those that you are with. As the young lady stated, you have to be a better you for the one that you're with. Okay? Now, sisters, I have to ask you, put down your clubs. Put down your clubs and recognize the majority of the males you talk to have been raised by single women that have robbed them of their voices because they loved them. That went over your head. Let me say it again. A lot of the young men, or the males that you encounter, you meet those who have been robbed of their voices as men by the women who love them, because they love them, i.e. mama. The stuff that most males see when in a single household corrupts the fuck out of them anyway. Okay? If you see mama with multiple men, multiple whatever, that already puts a thing in his mind that women are not meant to be faithful. So he's already carrying that. Okay. Also, because he sees those things, a lot of times he loses respect for mom, dad, daddy, mom, whatever, the mom and the both. I'm gonna call it the both. So he grows up, as I stated before, retrospectively on the last show that I did, and he has those unresolved issues that he's never unpacked. So he's dealing with you in that manner. This is a male. Okay. So he doesn't expect much from you. So there is that apathy when it comes to your hurts or your mode of healing or the things that you need to go to or go through to get where you got to go. So now you're doing this because both of you are flexing this quote unquote state of testosterone flux. And because you have not sat down and really discussed your issues, you have no understanding of what you need to be understanding about to each other. So you're just drawing conclusions, i.e. how most people or most females have drew conclusions about the topic of this show tonight. And you thought I was just going to come in here, oh, y'all, a mother bunch of B's and whole VHs and whatever. It's not the case. We ain't doing that here no more. All I'm saying is we have to be more open with one another to gain an understanding of where each other stands and derives and lives and need that growth. And for the individual who came on and asked the question about why am I implying that other women of other races are not expecting the man to be the head or the provider, you know what? Here's the brass tacks. They're trained to see or to seek providers. You aren't. You're trained and reared to be independent as opposed to looking for a provider. Okay? Shout out to Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, because trust me, they created a whole subculture, man, around you guys, and y'all fell for the shit, hook, line, and sinker at the sacrifice of a black man. Let me tell you something. Those that know it, you know it, just like I know it. Pray for Kanye. Listen to me. There would have never been a Kim Kardashian if there was not a Ray J. I'm going to say it again. There would have never been a Kim Kardashian if there was not a Ray J. They just saw it and shot their shot and melted. And I'm going to tell you something. If you see the example of how they were reared, this is across the board. I don't give a shit whether you're Persian, Asian, white, Hispanic. They're not fucking with no niggas if they don't have their shit together or there's something that they can bring back to their family, i.e. status, money, security, long term, i.e. child, where you're going to pay to play for the next 18 years and I'm going to see what I need to see. And because I fucked with you, I've stepped up on your shoulder and I got me some more status and contacts and connections where now I can, i.e. me, can make money by selling products. Come on now. Listen, I keep saying it to you and I'll say it to you again. You have to bury the club. You got to put the club down. There is truth in the fact that the most undefended person on the face of this earth is the black woman, but the most unheard individual on the face of the earth is the black man. We don't have a voice anywhere. And that was done by design because we don't connect. We neither one of us have a platform. But here's the thing. The world would give it to you before they give it to us because they're threatened by us. So when you talk about the fact that we don't have it to give you or to take care of you, there's that talented 10 that have it, but they're there for a reason. You better believe the people let them there, and they're serving a purpose until they don't serve a purpose anymore. Then they're going to send them motherfuckers to Jupiter. But anyway, that's a whole nother show. But we talking about this one. Why you are not good as wives and most of you will never be. It is because you're too busy watching the motherfucker next to you or before you, and you're not unpacking your baggage. You're not cleaning you up. You're not forgiving. And your expectations are unrealistic. Stop watching the Instagram broad. Trust and believe me, she ain't got it like that. She's perpetuating that shit so that she can have it. But here's the thing: there is some truth in it. You have what you say you have. So if that's what you want, then put it out there. It'll come back to you at some point in time. But the thing is, how long you got? Because I stated on the show before, man, this here, this is an hourglass. We're going to hide how many grains of salt or sand you got, but this is the now, just under this finger. And all of this is your past. A lot of people are dwelling here when you should be dwelling here in the now. Fuck what you see. It's about what can you make happen? What will you make happen? Yeah. You don't know what them people doing to get their stuff. You don't know whether they wearing knee pads under their dresses, or when they come off camera, they got to put a neck brace on because the motherfucker they with got them every hour of the day till they nose bleed or until their teeth fall out their head. You don't know. You have no idea. But I'll tell you what real men want, ladies, for wives. Although you put your lashes on, you put your lace front on, you beat your face like a motherfucker stole something from you, and you go get your BBL, you tuck your stomach and you do all your stuff. You're so tight you can't even, eyes so tight you can't even sleep at night because you braided your hair back and created a whole nother forehead. We don't care nothing about that. It's good to look at, but at the end of the day, a lot of us, we ain't willing to take that home to our mama. The question is, how you gonna make me feel when the bottom falls out of it all? Hell, we can both combine and say, all right, we make $500,000. We make $1 million a year. But trust me, the wolves come kick the door in. What you gonna do? How you gonna play it then? Yeah, can we rebuild? Are we gonna get it again, or are you gonna run for the hills and look for the next motherfucker, next ship to jump on? Yeah, a lot of us talk that real talk, but how real are we when we get in the trenches? It's not the measure of a man and a woman is not where you are when you're comfortable. It is where you are when you're uncomfortable. That's what a husband expects from his wife. If he's willing to jump out here and stop a bullet or a bus, God damn it, you better be willing to stand there and feed, wipe his face and wipe his ass too. But how do you get to that point when your expectations are unrealistic and you're too busy trying to be the man as opposed to be with a man? It's good to be independent. But I'll tell you something else. We as men, we don't give a fuck about your money. We don't care about that. We too busy trying to get ours. Here's another disparity. Education. The majority of the sisters, they are able to go to college and do the things that they want to do. But as young men, we got to leave the nest a little early. We got to get out here and make it work how we got to make it work. So most of us, we don't get to go to college or secondary school or continuing education to get a degree to apply to something. So yeah, we end up with these blue collar jobs, hourly wages, less the salary. You feel me? So, no, we can't take you to Fendi on a regular. We got to wait till tax time or till we able to save up that money to go get you that bag or, whatever. Our focus is more, well, look here, I'm going to put you on my health insurance, on my dental. Yeah. You want to open that hair salon? Let me go draw some money out of my 401k. Yeah. You ready to buy the house? All right, well, let's pick the house out. Let me see what I can do. Let me get my credit straight. Are we both going on the note, or what we doing? How we doing it? Those are the questions you ask. You get yourself prepared. The thing is, most of you are willing. Listen, it's like working out in the gym. You've gotten so accustomed in your works and your practices of breaking up that you don't do the work. You're not willing to show your work. You got the answer because you're listening to respond and not to understand that you're easily phased to the point where you want to break up or look at other options, where you think that it's going to medicate that bullshit that you're still carrying, because now you got another motherfucker that's willing to take you to Crafty Crab instead of talk shit to you all night and put drinks in your hand and make you feel wanted and send you little bullshit texts and dick pics and everything else. And yeah, he want me. He own me. Yeah, he got a this, he got a that. But how many of us have seen The Wizard of Oz? When Toto went there and pulled back the curtain, you see Oz standing there as a chunky white man who got lost in a storm that went over your head. Damn, went over your head. Talking about a lot of the males that's out here that look like me. I'm trust me. Wednesday night, I'm gonna tear into these motherfuckers' asses. They ain't gonna like me after this, but I don't give a fuck because they need to hear it too. Listen, ladies, you want a real man? A real man is frugal. He's calculated. He's patient. He's kind, but he ain't no pushover. And you got to respect the fact that he's not going to go for your shit because he's looking long term. He understands that in his life, from wherever he is, he may have 20 years left, and 20 years goes by like that. Okay? So it's about what he's going to do with the rest of his life. If you're going to be a part of it or you're not. And if so, then there's certain things that he has to have. A real man is looking for one woman because he needs that one particular fan. It could be a stadium of 48,000, but he needs to hear the one fan that he's locked in with cheering and applauding the fact that he's showing his work. Not just supplying the answer, but showing the work. And when he fucks up, he doesn't need to be chastised. He needs the one fan that watched him be able to critique the work and come tutor him or help him not make the same mistake again, but to put him in a position to prosper and go ahead. How can a motherfucker take care of you? I say it every night as we depart. If you're not loving on you or you're not taking care of you and you're not showing that, because you got to show the work too. How can a motherfucker love you? What will make him want to go take out a $30,000 or $45,000 loan for a ring for you to marry you, to give you his last name, to make you an honest woman, to keep you without spot, blemish, or blame? How? But see, what I find nowadays is that you, sisters, and here's the truth. You want all the information, but you don't want to give shit. You want to be able to weigh the factors based on other options or potential options that you have. You're dating. You're practicing to leave. You're doing your consistent workout. And when a motherfucker's not saying something you want to hear, oh, fuck it, I'm out. I ain't tuning in. I'm not subscribing to that. Whatever. When in all actuality, this is your truth. This is your life, and you all hung up. Yeah. What the motherfucker say? We the crows, and we just thinking about you. You can't win. This the game. You can't get out of it. You can't get in. You can't win. R.I.P. Michael Jackson. Yeah. That's all. Put your clubs up, ladies. We need to be loved. Not beat up on, not talked to, not you know, motherfucker share something with you about something he wants to do. And because you feeling some kind of way about it, you got nothing but disdain. Oh. Get the out of here. Gotta do better. You want us to do better, you gotta do better. You to start. You the beginning. Because trust me, they recognize you before they recognize me. Us. Shout out to all my kings. I know y'all here, man. And it's just what it is. Yeah. Look. I'm just trying to put a little paint where it ain't. I'm just trying to put a little paint where it ain't, man. And yeah, we need you. We need you, sisters. I see you. We see you. Just put down the club, man. You know, when I say put down the club, it was this commercial, man, about the ASPCA. They put it out, and it was about these little white seals, and they were up on the North Pole some damn where, and the little man had some food to get the little seal to come to him, and then he hit the motherfucker in the head with a club. This is kind of what you guys do. You put on the makeup and the eyelashes and the thing and all of that, and you post and you talk, and then you show up and you got a club in your purse. Yeah. Fellas, look at the Chanel bag. If it got bulges in it, you know she got a club. You gotta run, gotta leave the restaurant. You dine and ditch. No, I'm just playing. Pay the bill. Pay your fare. Look. And all you're getting, man, get you some understanding. Love on yourself, man. Show people how to love you. If they don't know how to love you, there's no way they will love you. Okay? It's just like the disrespect thing. You have what you say you have. If that's the energy and the vibrations or the vibes that you are on, the level of vibration that you're on, you're going to attract that to you. An individual can approach you and come into your sphere and not want to give you that disdain or disrespect, but because that's what you carry, that's what they're going to give you. And they'll walk away and try to figure out, man, why the fuck did I just do that? Why do we have this conversation? But if that's what you are on, and that's what you're emitting, excuse me, this is what will come back to you. So love on yourself, man. Love on yourself. Glad you're on the show. You're on the air. You're on the air. I guess they hung up. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, man, love on yourself. And all you're getting, get you some understanding. Don't allow people to put you in a box. But recognize when you do need help, man. And therapy is good for all of us. You know, we get somebody that we can talk to that has an unbiased opinion about the things that we're dealing with. Okay? A lot of times we're put in a position where we feel we can't go to those who have wronged us or hurt us or abandoned us, you know, i.e. our parents or loved ones that we thought that were there to make provision for us. We got to be better. We got to be better, you know. We got to get better. So, yeah, man, and all you're getting, man, get you some understanding, get you some help. Do the things you need to do to extend your life as long as you can and to put you in a position of comfort. Get up, man, work out, walk, drink you some water. You know, at the same time, enjoy your life, everything in moderation. And, yeah, expect your respect and your roses now. Yeah. Give roses where you want to receive them. Okay? Any ideas you got, man, express those things, execute them. Telling you, even in business, whatever it is, man, it's not crazy. They thought Noah was crazy before before it began to rain. Do things that's going to change lives. Don't change the money. The money is going to come. Money cometh supernaturally because you professed it. And you put your hands to it and you're showing the work. All right? Listen, once again, I always ask you, man, I need you 12 seconds. And those that have wrote out for me, man, I will not forget you. I see who you are, man. You're on my analytics. Look, follow me on Instagram, man, at Romello_Marcellus_show. All right. And also follow me on YouTube, man, at Romello Marcellus Show. And yeah, smash that subscribe button, man, and click some likes, man. I need you. I need you. All right. Understand, you know, thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you. I mean, I know that a lot of people thought I was going to come in and go somewhere different with it, but no, I have to be respectful. I want to be the example. Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Somebody has to stand up. Look, man, I started this thing over a year ago. Well, not over a year ago, just about a year now. And I'm gonna work it, man. I want to be as big as Howard Stern. I can't stop working. I got to work extra hard now because I have burned my ship and I'm here. So I'm trying to do things to change people. I'm not chasing the dollars. The dollars are going to come. Okay. And that's how you got to live your life. Don't chase the dollar. Chasing the dollars is like chasing a unicorn. It comes and goes. Okay. Get yourself some healing, man. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody you don't even know. A lot of times, man, you get better understanding walking down the block talking to a person that may be displaced. And they're going to give you some understanding coming from a place that, shit, it's totally unbiased because it doesn't mean anything to them. To give you some love. Or, you know, you might be talking to an angel. All right? Yeah. Now, Wednesday night, man, listen, while y'all here, yeah, I need y'all to tap into this. Because yeah, I'm actually not going to hold my tongue. I got to be respectful to the ladies, but yeah, my brothers, I got to get off in you. Because this time, I got to change it up. I got to talk to you guys about what y'all need to know about decorum, about tact, about your approach, about how you need to deal with yourself, either in business or even in your personal life, being responsible and respectful, and standing on some sort of code of ethics and staying on code. So Wednesday night show, man, 8 p.m. right here live. When will the black man get his shit together? Because I know a lot of you sisters, a lot of you diamonds in the rough are saying this. When are they going to get their shit together? Because y'all tired. Yeah, I know. So tune in, man. Yeah, share it. And, make sure you're here. And while you're getting your understanding, love on you if no one else loves you. Trust and believe me, it makes a big difference for you to love yourself. And if no one else does, I love you. Good night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
It's the Romello Marcellus Show, the fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective.
It's the biggest boss
From business, entertainment, love, and life,
Had to find my inner power.
to fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.